Hello people, this is GenderqueerChat. It's Saturday, this is Callie, and the topic this week is if you could magically transition, so just overnight for one day, into the body of another biological gender, then would you? And why? What do you think that would be like? If I could magically transition into... Now, people have brought up the very interesting idea of if you had choices of... Sorry, that's my email thing. Choices of where on the spectrum you would situate yourself. And I have to admit that all I had considered was the body of a bio-female person, bio-woman. I hadn't thought about this, and the reason I hadn't thought about this was because I was thinking about it in a different way. Because I would still want my brain exactly as it is. I would still want my genderqueer brain in that different body. So I would still want, even if I were in bio-female body, to have my own thoughts and to be as genderqueer as I am and in the same way, and to be feminine but with kind of other characteristics. Because I don't think I want to experience, like, I'm not particularly... Before I knew what genderqueer was, which is not that long ago, like a year and a half ago now, I guess, or something, that I discovered that I even knew what it was, and that this was an option. You kind of have to make it an option, but I didn't know that there were any other people who had this experience. And so it's relatively fresh in my mind what it used to feel like when I did identify. I never quite got to the point of identifying as a man because that label never fit me. Sorry, if you can hear cooking noises in the background, it's because I'm cooking beans. I apologise, and I may have to run away if I hear them boil over. I never quite got to the point of identifying as a man, but I did identify as a boy and as being male and all that stuff. I don't miss that. And I've been thinking about this recently, just this week. If I could go back to how it was, if I, for some reason, like, if I wanted to go back to how it was, I don't think I could. Because I had so many, like, feminine mannerisms and things and feminine tendencies which I was suppressing. And I don't think I could remember to suppress all those things. Because there was so much going on, and it's no wonder that I was having a difficult time with it, because when I think about how many things I've given myself permission to do since coming out as genderqueer, not just with like wearing makeup and different clothes and things, although I did used to have really boring clothes, but like just kind of how I relate to people and things like that. I'm much more kind of effusive and genuine. I feel less of a need to be reserved. Teddy Roosevelt, I think it was, who said that you do what you can with what you have where you are. I like to think I'm doing that, or trying to do that. But yes, sorry, tangent. The point was that if I could change my biology and be biologically female for a day, would I? And I suppose I would. I have a dress, the dress I wore in my audition video for GenderqueerChat, and don't wear that often. Oh, I've got something else to talk about at the end of this video. Got to remember to do that. My dress that I wore in my audition video, my kind of like sweater dress. I love that dress, and I would wear it if I woke up and discovered that mutatis mutandis, everything was the same except for my body, then I would wear that. I think I would put on that dress. What I think I would probably take the opportunity, and I was the same size, like I was the same height, and I had the same shoe size. Maybe I would have smaller shoes, but it wouldn't be worth buying shoes just for one day. See, the practicalities of this are prohibitive. No, but if my feet were the same size, or maybe slightly smaller, I could cram. What I would really be hoping for out of this experience would be to have no beard shadow. So I would be able to have a day where I didn't have to shave, and more feminine facial structure. So where I would be able to have a day where I didn't have to shave, and I think I would take the opportunity not to wear makeup, because it's a drag. No pun intended. Having to... That was a really terrible pun, I really apologise. I'm kind of thinking about editing that out. Sorry. I would take the opportunity not to wear makeup for a day. And I'd wear that, I think, well, maybe that dress would be too much even. See, that's weird, isn't it? But maybe, yeah, it would probably be too much just for the everyday. And it would be nice if just nobody noticed. That seems to be what happens whenever I do anything like kind of genderqueer or anything, is that people just pretend not to notice. It would be nice if nobody noticed and I could just go about my day as usual. I really don't see... Various people have mentioned this about standing up to pee. Like, it's really not that big a deal. Like, it's convenient, but it's not that convenient. You still have to go to the loo. If you're camping, I suppose, yeah, if you're camping, then from where I'm standing, this is full of puns, from where I'm standing, it's not that big of a deal. I wouldn't miss that. What I would struggle with would be having breasts. I think even if I woke up and as part of the magical thing I had the necessary accoutrement, then I would, I'm not sure, I'm not that fussed about having breasts myself. And it depends, would I have the equivalent of my body but with female characteristics? Or do I get to choose a female body to have? Because if so, I have some suggestions. But that's probably another tangent there. So yes, I think I would enjoy that. I don't think I would do much differently. I think the main thing would be taking the opportunity to not wear makeup and just to kind of just be. And I think I would be, because I do very much situate myself in like non-binaristically, so I don't think I would be comfortable if I had my own thoughts and kind of ways of thinking about things. I don't think I would be comfortable I don't think I would be comfortable any more comfortable in a standard issue bio-female body than in my current standard issue male body. So there you go. Joe mentioned hormones, what it feels like to have testosterone coursing through your veins, or wherever it is hormones course. I'm not really up on the biology of it. Well, obviously I don't know by comparison. I kind of think I'd like to be able to cry more. I think I'd like to be able to cry at a sad film, which I think is like a hormonal issue. I'd like to have, well, reading in Julia Serrano talks about it actually in Whipping Girl. I would like to have like more access to my emotions on a kind of chemical level, and And I'd like to and Julia Serrano talks about how her sense of smell sharpened when she went on hormones. That'd be interesting to wake up and have all that going on. I would not like to menstruate, thank you very much. Or any of no, don't think so. Now, the other thing, my last video last week, I said I was going to wear a skirt or a dress out and tell you all about it. And that evening, I decided, you know what, let's strike while the iron is hot and just do it. So I put on a skirt. I didn't change my outfit at all. I was wearing black jeans, and I took off my black jeans and put on my black skirt with frilly white bits at the bottom, and I went out to a cafe, which is in my town, and which is kind of which is where it's a very small cafe. It's like, okay, so you're not in my living room, so you don't know how big my living room is, but it's almost the kind of same surface area as my living room, which is quite a big living room. Living room / dining room. We're in the dining room zone of it at the moment. So it's not very big. Maybe it is bigger than that. I don't know. Anyway, it's not very big, and there's only space for about a dozen people to be in it at a time, max, sitting down. We're running out of time. Anyway, so I was going to go there because it's got a lot of it's got kind of regular crowd in there, people who I know, and people who are queer, and people who are, sort of intellectuals, or what passes for intellectuals in this town. But then as I was walking there, I was rung by a friend on my mobile, and he said, "What are you doing? Come to my room and entertain me." And so I said, "No, come and have a cup of tea with me and entertain me." So we didn't go to where we had been going to go. We went somewhere else to a coffee shop called Bean Scene, it's like a chain. It's kind of like a Starbucksy Costa. Do you have Costa in America? I don't know. It's that sort of thing anyway. But I think it's only in Scotland. It's called Bean Scene. It's a wee bit naff. But anyway, we went there, and I was wearing my skirt, and my friend, who is a very, he would self-identify as a straight acting gay man. So, and I thought about saying on the phone to him, "I'm wearing a skirt. If we're going out for a cup of coffee, is that okay by you?" And I thought about saying that to him, but then I thought, you know what, just let him deal. And then, but he didn't mention it at all. He did compliment me on my jumper that I was wearing, my green jumper, which I was wearing in last week's video, but he didn't mention the skirt at all. And then we went back to my house and had another cup of tea, because that's how I roll. And he, throughout the whole conversation, I was sitting there in my pumps from the video, and tights and skirt, and he did not mention it at all. So make of that what you will. Also, he said to me that if he got married, had a civil partnership ceremony, which he doesn't see himself doing, but he said if he did, I would be one of his candidates for best man. And although I didn't correct him, I should have corrected him, you see, but I didn't want to correct him because he just paid me a very lovely compliment. So, and I would be very flattered to be made to be best person if he got married. But he's in love with a straight boy at the moment, so what are you going to do? Yeah, okay, that had a lot of tangents. And I'm going to have to edit it a wee bit to get it under 15 minutes so that YouTube will let me put it up. And I can hear my beans boiling over in the other room, so I'm going to round that up. But yeah, good talk, and see you next week.